I hope that you are doing well. Thank you so much for joining me today, where we are here to create. And last time, when we created, we used newspaper and made a repurposed item with that. And today we're going to continue on with repurposing things that you might already have. And today it's plastic containers. So I took a plastic container from Blueberries and I just cut the top off. We're also going to use some permanent markers, a pair of scissors, the stove, a pan. I've lined my pan with aluminum foil. I have some pot holders and oven mitts. So first I am going to cut my plastic to the right size. And if you'll notice, there are little holes in there, so I don't want to include those. So I'm just going to cut around the outside edge here to start with. And I might decide that I want to use a smaller piece than that. We'll just see how it goes. And I'm going to discard that piece. Earlier today, I was sitting outside looking at my flowers, and I drew a picture of this flower that is sitting on my deck. So now I'm just going to trace that picture onto this piece of plastic. So I've got dark green and light green markers. So I'm just going to outline with the dark green. And then for some contrast, I'll color in some of the light green in the center. I'm going to outline the leaves in the dark green as well. So you want to try to hold your position, or hold the position of the paper and the plastic relative to each other, because you don't want that sliding and being. So my flower petals are yellow, 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 purple, purple. I'm going to outline in black just because I think it looks better. I am also going to do the lines in black. I'm going to color in the yellow first. And you want to make sure that you're careful, because the permanent markers can cause some smearing of the colors. So even if you let them dry, sometimes the color smears anyway. I've just got the purple left now. So I found that when you do the final part of this, the smaller your piece of plastic is, the easier the whole process goes. So I'm just going to cut that into a rectangle. So if you want to use this as a necklace charm, or say a key holder charm, you can punch a hole in it. If you wanted to punch the hole up higher, you could do that. I'm just going to quick punch a hole in the side. So there is my finished one. I've got the hole punched in the side. I'm just going to take my aluminum foil lined pan, put that one on there, and I did another one of the Tree of Life, and I'm going to put that on there as well. We're going to get that into the oven. So I have a lovely toaster oven. I am going to plug that in. I'm going to set my temperature at about 325. And I'll put it in there. I like to keep an eye on it while I'm working on it. I've got a spatula for removing it from the pan when it's done. It also helps to flatten it a little if it starts curling up too much. And because both of my items are 2 different sizes, it's very likely that they're going to get done at different times. So I can just open the door, use a spatula, remove the one that's done, and then leave the other one in there. Aha, I have found my oven mitt, so I can take it out when it's done. So heating is going to change its structure a little bit. So instead of being really flimsy, like the original one was, it'll be a little harder. So sometimes they'll curl up and the pieces will stick together, and you need to go in and flatten those out. And that might be what is happening now. I may have overdone the Tree of Life. I put it back in to see if I can soften it up a little more, take it out, and then flatten it. And this time I really am going to remove it for good. Peel that open a little. And while you're doing this, remember that plastic can get very hot, so use pot holders, use precaution, use safety. I'll bring you in for a look at the finished item. So, the Tree of Life still ended up being kind of curly. It's not the greatest, and is probably something that I will end up using in a collage or another piece of artwork. The flower ended up cooler. There is what the flower ended up being like. On this one you can see the plastic turned completely opaque, and as you do this you want to make sure that you are using a flexible recyclable plastic. Some plastics aren't going to work, and there it is. So I hope that you enjoyed our repurposing of plastic today. I will just remind you, the plastic I used had a number 1 on the back, so it's number 1 peat recyclable plastic. If you decide to try this out, you're going to want to use permanent markers. You are going to want to keep in mind that it's hot. So if you're a youngster, get somebody older to help you with this project. And you're going to want to keep an eye on the oven and have some ventilation, so windows open or something like that. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope you try it out yourself. We'll be back with more creative activities and some STEM activities this summer, and until then, I hope that you continue to use your creativity to improve the world. And thank you.